So this is the Easy Auto Talk podcast. This is episode 30. We hit episode 30. And today we have Gustavo Pernaletes in the house.
What's going on, guys?
This is one of our friends from school, and he is here to tell us a story. He's got a story to tell, right? You got something that happened to you or to a friend that we're going to talk about?
I got many stories, bro. Yes.
What is it? You have something to give us? Something about related to a car purchase or something like that?
Yeah, of course.
Car purchase and a trading, right?
Exactly.
With a trading.
That's a little story that happened not too long ago. That it actually happened in Florida, in one of the, I would say one of the hottest markets for used vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Get
Miami.
a little bit closer to the microphone. Just make sure. Yeah. Talk to the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Talk to the microphone.
Got it. You got it.
Yeah. So basically, the story is about a good friend of mine who I sold the car to. Well,
car?
I say sold because he didn't have a good credit. He was just looking for a car. I had a car financing under my name, and I just kind of sold it to him so he could pay the bank off. The car was still under my name, and I just pretty much let him pay it off.
The payments.
Take over the payments or pay the full payoff amount?
No, just take over the payments until the car was fully paid off at some point, which we calculated was going to be like 10 months.
Okay.
But the thing is, you got to know what are you paying for, right? Because I don't know, you guys know more of this about me, but if you're paying off a car, not necessarily when you pay it off, you need to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Most people pay it off, just get that bill out of the way, and keep the car for a little bit if it's in good conditions, right?
Okay.
Right.
I don't know what you suggest.
It's up to. It's a personal choice.
Right. I mean, what we have encountered here is some people want to pay off the car and have a little room to breathe. So what I mean is that they want to
save money,
be without payments for a little bit, because they have been paying cars for 2 years or whatever, and I want to stop making payments on a monthly basis. People feel a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
Relieved.
Yeah, more relief that they don't have to come up with the money every month. They can maybe start saving that.
And pay full coverage insurance.
Exactly.
Right.
So there are some benefits. What are the disadvantages of paying off the car and keeping it?
Nothing. I mean, there's no really probably that you're not gonna have a near car, but that's it. I mean,
I guess, yeah. Your car has some miles, whatever you have put in it. So I don't think it's that big of a deal to keep the car.
I think most people use it as
I think it's perfect, yeah.
Yeah, some people just do it as a transition. Like you said, they want some breathing room to keep up with their finances, to like wrap everything up. And at some point, they just, they're going to want a newer car. But it's up to them how much or how long do they want to wait.
Right. Yeah.
So your friend, he paid it off, and then what did he do?
So he pretty much paid it off, the full balance.
So it was his car.
So it was his car. So the full balance was like $8,000 whenever he took over the loan. He paid it off in less than a year. He paid me the monthly payments, like literally like $400 a month, $450. And then when he paid it off, he was already looking to upgrade or to get a newer car.
Mm-hmm.
And what car was it?
The car was a 2011 Toyota Corolla.
Okay.
So a pretty good car. Not
Pretty good
not
car.
Too old.
Not too old.
2011.
Reliable
car.
I mean, it had comfort, pretty much.
About how many miles?
About 140,000. But it was really neat.
High miles, but
I drove the car myself for about 2 weeks.
That was the green Toyota, right? The green
No,
Corolla?
it was a gray Toyota.
Gray Toyota.
But the car was super smooth. I mean, you couldn't hear a noise. It was smooth. Yeah, still very cheap in gas.
Okay.
Everything worked. So the thing is, he wasn't really educated enough on like about how much the car was worth. Like he didn't do the right math, and then he just ended up just going into a dealership, the first one he pretty much encountered, and he just traded it in. He fell for the first offer, which is something that maybe some people want to do the research, like you guys always talk about.
Yeah.
Because if you just fall for whatever offer you get at first, you might be getting ripped off. You're not knowing, right? And that's exactly what happened to him, right? So he went to a dealership in Miami. They did the appraisal on the vehicle, and I think they just valued the vehicle for like $1,500. And then they told him that since he had no credit, or he was a new credit or bad credit, that's the only thing they could do for him in order for them to give him a new car.
So he bought he was looking at a new car,
so
right?
he was looking to get a new car.
Not a used, but new.
Yeah,
Brand
not a
new.
used but new. He wanted pretty much to get like a new Honda Civic. And the dealer was like, "Whoa, but since you don't have no credit or anything, we can take your car as a down payment and get you a lease. That's the only thing we're gonna get you into a brand new car because you don't qualify." So he just ended up, like, they worked him out, and at the end of the day, he ended up just giving the car out for $1,500 to this dealership, which, by the way, he just paid it off like 20 days ago.
He had no payments on the car anymore. And what was 2011?
11.
How many miles?
140.
Do you know? 140 by the
100.
time he traded in?
Yeah, by the time he traded in,
140.
140.
So I think they could have offered him more than that, probably. A little bit more.
But I guess the main point, like, I mean, the car was perfectly fine. Why did he wanted to get into something else and start having payments again?
Well, that's the
Well,
most common
Yeah.
problem with.
Was it what trim was it?
Was the LE?
LE. Okay.
Yeah.
I think, listen, the problem with our industry, the car industry, the dealerships, it's a two-way street. There is a lot of dealerships that they don't treat their customers in the proper way. They want to rip them off or whatever. But also the customers, they don't make smart decisions.
They don't do research. They don't get educated.
Like
Exactly.
Look, I just pulled up the Kelly Blue Book values on that car, 2011 Toyota Corolla LE, on a good condition. You know, you still have very good and excellent condition with 140,000 miles. The trading value on a good condition is $3,400. $3,400.
Exactly.
Not even it's more than double.
Not even mentioning he could have sold it on a third party and maybe get a little more than that.
Right, that's the other thing. The private party value on this car is $5,800. So like Ishmael was saying, I mean, sometimes dealers try to take advantage of you, but they do it because you don't know, you don't have knowledge, you don't educate yourself, you don't do research, you don't know how much your car is worth.
Exactly.
Your credit doesn't matter, honestly. I mean, even if you have brand new credit, but you can tell, like, look, at least give me $500 more. I don't know.
Exactly.
Like $2,000. If you really want the new car, you don't want the one that you have anymore. I mean, at least ask for $2,000, $2,500. It's still below the trading value. You know what
That
I
was
mean?
his biggest mistake. Like, not even looking up how much the car was worth. He was so much focused on what the car he wanted to get, and he was dying to driving out that new Honda that day.
Right.
That he just pretty much gave out the car. But you know what the funny thing is? That when he told me that he traded the car in for $1,500, I was like, dude, you're crazy. I mean, you already closed the deal. Let me call the salesman of that dealership, and I'll buy it from them. So he was like, yeah, I'm going to give you the contact. So we both called the sales guy, and be like, hey.
Get closer to the microphone.
the same day?
It was...
You can move it closer to you.
Not same day, it was next morning. Sorry, guys. It was next morning. So we called the sales guy and say, hey, I got it. The previous owner of the car wants to get the car back. He wants to give you the $1,500. You took it as a down payment for that amount.
Right.
Same
If he
thing,
brings
yeah.
you the cash today before 12 noon, would you accept it? And the guy was like, yeah, sure. If he brings me the cash, I'll just charge him $100 more for like whatever reason. So they ended up just charging me $1,600, and I got my car back that same day.
And you kept it or you sold it? Or?
No, I sold it.
You
I
sold-
sold it.
You
I
won.
kept it for about 2 weeks because it was a solid car.
And you made money on it?
I did. I pretty much did a car flipping.
How much you sold it for?
Nice.
I sold it for close to like $3,500.
You see?
Wow.
Like the price just pulled it up.
So
He could have sold it. He could have sold it.
yeah.
Exactly.
You know, that's the thing. Like,
So that's exactly what I'm saying, man. Like and I'm not saying that I'm not excusing a dealership that's trying to rip off someone by any means. I'm not excusing it that they shouldn't do that, but when a dealership sees that a guy that's dying to have that car, he doesn't even care how much you paid him for. He just wants to get in that car. How much are the payments? How much? I don't care. I just want to get that car. So they take more advantage of the guy because he's so desperate about it.
But at the end of the day, like anything in business is about negotiation, right?
Yeah.
So it's not, in my opinion, of anybody trying to rip anyone off. It's more so you have an offer on the table, but nobody's forcing you to take that
Exactly.
offer.
totally.
Right.
You know, a dealership can offer you $100 for your car. Are you gonna be
Exactly.
not smart enough to sell it for $100? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to do your research on
It's,
that
it's
matter.
common sense too. So what if you just paid a whole bunch of money on that car? You maybe sacrificed other things, doing a high monthly payment to pay it off in a year. It doesn't make much sense to just get rid of it as soon as you pay it off.
Yeah.
Because you feel the car's too old, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
That's I don't think we're anybody to get into anybody's finance or whatever
Yeah.
they want to
Or
do.
preferences.
But yeah, like if it was me, my personal opinion, if I just paid off a car, I probably wouldn't
I'll-
just get one
I'll
right
keep
away.
it for as long as
I'll
can.
keep it and save my money, or maybe like I don't know, if I like traveling, I'll use those $300. 400 was the payments.
Yeah, like 450.
I'll use those 450 and save them. Take a trip. I don't know, whatever, something else, because you have your car that, yeah, maybe you don't get as many girls with that car. I don't know. I guess exactly. I mean, because that's what people think about. If you're
Probably.
or most
Or
of the people or some people, like,
Right.
You know, but it's like, come on.
But the main point here, you can do whatever you want, but I mean, that's the whole topic is the fact that, he went and traded in for $1,500. It's less from, half of what the car was actually worth, the trading value.
Right.
But that happened because he didn't know. He just went to the dealership without having any kind of knowledge
yeah.
about the numbers. He could have called you before going to the dealership, and ask you like, hey, what you think? Or,
Exactly.
because when you got the car back, you sold it in a few days. I think even the same day you posted it on
Yeah,
Marketplace.
so as soon as I got the car back, the car, I pretty much did my work on it because it was not like super clean or anything like that. I even remember one of the podcasts that you guys posted a few days ago, how to get the most out of your trading, right?
trade-in.
And then that was one of the easy tips, you see. But yeah, it definitely is. I mean, the car was super dirty and everything. It took me
Yeah,
like
cleaned
$10 to clean
Clean
it.
it up, yeah.
Bro, I even did some work to the headlights because they were foggy.
Yeah.
I took like you've
see?
seen that trick with the toothpaste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the toothbrush.
Yeah.
Just brush them for a little bit. Work maybe half hour on it. You can increase up to like $500.
Yeah.
Totally, because people are gonna see the car, and that's how they price. I mean, they see it. Well, maybe I can pay a little bit more. It's really clean.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
kept it
makes
for
a difference.
for about a week or two, and I literally one day posted it on the social media on a marketplace. And
Facebook Marketplace.
in Facebook Marketplace, and I posted it on like 10 a.m. I got a few offers, and by 12 o'clock afternoon, I was already closing the deal. It was crazy. I didn't think it was going to be that fast. I thought maybe, it's going to take a few days.
Yeah.
People are going to lowball you and like try to bring it down. But
For 3,500, man, that's
3,500.
good. I mean, you're selling it at the trading value.
yeah.
I mean, the
Exactly.
car is honestly worth more.
And you know what the funny thing
But-
is?
And you used it too.
I did use it, but the main reason I think he wanted a new car is because he was moving to another state. He was making a drive from Florida to Ohio, and he thought because of the mileage and because of
It wasn't
whatever,
gonna make it.
it
or
wasn't
something.
gonna make it. It's like a
You should-
$1,200 mile trip.
You should have shown him our video.
Right.
With the van.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, he thought he wasn't gonna make it. Plus, he wanted a new car, so
Well, it is what. So what's it teaching? What's it teaching here? What's to learn?
I feel like we always get to the same teaching in every podcast, right?
Oh, but
Every
that's why
podcast-
everybody.
Well, except I'm making a point here. We
Yeah.
should change the name to, instead of the Easy Auto Talk, the Easy Auto
Do your research talk.
Because seriously,
research, man.
people, guys,
DYR.
do some. It's so easy to do research.
So many tools online.
Man, you have YouTube, you
Honestly.
have car gurus. You
Watch
can
our
research,
videos.
Watch our videos. You can even give us a call. You can,
Yeah.
there's so many things that you can do to learn a little bit. I don't think we're experts yet, but we have learned by
pretty basic.
doing stuff
pretty
and by
basic
just
stuff,
watching stuff. And
If he would have sold the car for $3,000, he would have had $1,500 more, either in his pocket or
towards the down payment.
towards the down payment, financing less money. But he didn't do it.
Because at the end of the day, he was just looking at whatever monthly payment they were offering him for the new car. So I think that he was thinking very short term. Like
Yeah.
very what are my needs now versus what best value I can get out of this deal.
Yeah, not what's the best thing that I can do, but what's gonna get me to what I want right now.
Exactly, based on his income and his weekly or paycheck. That's what adjusted to his budget. But still, you gotta try to be a little smarter with your finances, because at the end of the day, the only one getting ripped off is yourself.
Right.
You could do it. You can use that money for so many things.
Yeah. Thank you, bro, for sharing that story. I think that
Thanks,
it's
brother.
helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
to someone out there that is thinking about trading in his car and is in the same situation. Maybe someone is, I want this new car.
Especially in a car that
Think
is
about it.
it's running. It's a car that is totally drivable.
Oh no, I mean 100%.
If it was a situation where he had, a trash, a piece of trash car that doesn't even run or something, I understand. You don't want to go through the hassle of selling the car, if it's not running properly. But if it's a perfectly running car, I mean, someone else is going to buy it right away, and come on.
Yeah. And it's easy now.
It's super easy.
Did you post it only on Marketplace or somewhere else?
I posted it. So I posted it in an OfferUp, just like
OfferUp is
regular
good too.
second use things marketplace. It didn't sell quite fast. I posted it the day before in OfferUp. I got a few offers, and as a matter of fact, I had an appointment for that day at 2 p.m. to meet with somebody. He was, supposedly gonna buy it from me, but I was able to close the deal even earlier by posting it on Facebook Marketplace. So that was the good thing. And the car, the car was not only in good running condition, but he had invested in some new brake pads and two tires he had bought 4 months ago. So the tires were 80%, good, brand new brake pads, and stuff like that. So he probably invested over $600 or $700 in like little tweaks to the car along the way, and it's still, he just let it go.
What made you like call the dealership and ask them to buy it back, do you think he sold it too cheap or?
No, yeah, it was a no-brainer. I mean,
As soon as he told you, you were like, "What?"
because he bought the car from me. Like he paid it off. The car was still under my name. It was pretty much a favor I did to him.
Oh right, so the car was.
It was my car. I mean, I
Right.
had the car a year ago. He was like in desperate need of a car.
He was making the payments, but on your
on my name. I
behalf.
was like,
Right.
bro, have this car, just make the payments on it, and then whenever you pay it off, I'm gonna give you the title. It's gonna be all yours. He's like, all right. He paid me $8,000 over the course of a year, and making like about $450 payment monthly. And then once he paid it off, he literally gave away $1,600 away, like not counting the value of the car. But I guess that the main thing, like you said, is just do your research. Otherwise, you're gonna be making not so smart decisions that you're gonna be just missing out on money that you could use for something else, for your family, for
so many things.
Hopefully he's happy with the Honda Civic.
hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope he's happy.
that's what I.
Well,
do
you're
hope.
happy. Good move.
I am. I was able to just whip it in Miami
Yeah.
streets for a little bit.
Hey, thank
For
you.
South
Thank
Beach.
you for sharing and thank you for
Thank you for having me,
coming
guys.
in our podcast.
Thanks,
bro.
amazing.
Appreciate it.
All right.
See you.
Have a
Bye.
good trip. Peace out.